Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to address one of the comments a Muslim made on my last video. It was about Prophet Muhammad expelled and killed Jewish tribes in Medina. Let us read the comment. The Jewish tribes attempted to assassinate the Prophet Muhammad, violated the constitution of Medina many times that they had agreed on, and plotted with the polytheists to lay siege and wipe out the Muslim community when they were vulnerable. An Arab tribe would have suffered the same fate, had nothing to do with ethnicity. The Muslims also fought wars against the Arab polytheists at the time. Muslims do not hold hatred for these actions, and Jews were offered protection and rights for thousands of years under Islamic law. Jewish communities flourished under the Ottoman Empire and in Al Andalus. Let me ask you, how were the Jews treated in Europe by Christians over the centuries? When massacre and persecution were the norm, what did the Crusaders do to the Jews in Jerusalem? Now, actually, before I answer this, I want to give some more detail regarding the circumstances between Banu Nadir, Banu Qurayza, Banu Qaynuqa, and Muhammad, and the Muslims in general that time. Start with Banu Nadir. Muhammad attacked and plundered the caravans from Mecca. The Quraysh was mad. It is understandable. And then finally they fight back and won. The Quraysh did not finish Muhammad off after the battle, who then fled to Medina. In Medina, he found some of the Jews who had not taken part in the battle were not concealing their pleasure at his tragedy. So they were happy he was defeated. Feeling the need to set an example, Muhammad targeted the Banu Nadir. He besieged them for several weeks. Banu Nadir surrendered and was expelled. And their property became booty for the Muslims. This is the problem, right? Of course, Banu Nadir would be happy Muhammad got defeated. It's normal. Let's say you are watching a movie about traders who got robbed many times. And finally, the traders fight back and win. Now, let me ask you a question. Will you be happy for the traders or be sad for the robbers? Of course, normal people will be happy for the traders. Only crazy people will feel sad for the robbers, for the criminals. Right? This is understandable if Banu Nadir was happy Muhammad got defeated. Let us continue with Banu Qaynuqa. As I mentioned before, the problem with Banu Qaynuqa and Muhammad was not actually about Banu Qaynuqa breaking treaty or anything, trying to kill Muhammad, plotting this. No. It was because a Muslim woman came to the shop of a Banu Qaynuqa goldsmith. The goldsmith played a prank on her. She screamed, and a Muslim man killed him. And then goldsmith's his friends, the friends of goldsmith took revenge and killed that Muslim man. And Muhammad regarded this as a case for war. Imagine that. I do understand. I mean, some sources saying the goldsmith sexually harassed her, but some other sources said it was a prank. Anyway, I do understand the goldsmith was guilty, but when a Muslim man killed him and then his friends killed that Muslim guy, it should be enough, you know, should be okay, stop. Because if Muhammad was a prophet, he would be wiser than that, you know. Now he got mad and then besieged Banu Qaynuqa for like half month until they surrendered unconditionally. And again, like I mentioned earlier in my video earlier, he initially wanted to massacre them. He wanted to slaughter the men en masse. But Abdullah ibn Ubay changed, made him change his mind and expel them instead. And then the Muslims took their property as booty, whatever they left. Now, next one is Banu Qurayza. Banu Qurayza is the biggest one. Muhammad slaughtered 10,000 of them, including up to 900 who surrendered. Now, this happened because Prophet Muhammad always tried to convince Jews everywhere that he was their prophet. And he failed and was criticized. And this is also why the direction of the prayer switched from Jerusalem to Blackstone in Kaaba, in Makkah. That's all. That's because they rejected Prophet Muhammad as their prophet. Now, let us answer this comment. The Jewish tribes attempted to assassinate the Prophet Muhammad. Wrong. Banu Nadir has several chiefs. One of them plotted to kill Muhammad. The attempt was not made yet. Nobody made an attempt yet. Anyway, so this is wrong. Violated the constitution of Madinah many times that they agreed on. Wrong. Why? Because many sources say these three tribes were not included in the constitution of Madinah. Only smaller tribes in Madinah were included. And plotted, let's continue, and plotted with the polytheists to lay siege and wipe out the Muslim community when they were vulnerable. Now, like I said earlier regarding Banu Nadir and Banu Qaynuqa, they were besieged by the Muslims for weeks. If the Muslims were vulnerable, could they besiege anyone? Of course not. Of course not. The Muslims were also strong and big. Continue. An Arab tribe who committed the same would have suffered the same fate. Had nothing to do with ethnicity. Wrong. Show me which Arab tribe wiped out by Muhammad like he did to Banu Qurayza. He wiped out 10,000 men. Well, mostly men. Now show me which tribe of the Arabs wiped out by Muhammad. No one. Only the Jews. So yes, this has everything to do with ethnicity. Let us continue. The Muslims also fought wars against the Arab polytheists at the time. Right. This is the only sentence that is right. Continue. Muslims do not hold hatred for these actions, and the Jews were offered protection and rights for thousands of years under Islamic law. Wrong. They have jizya, the system called jizya. The protection and rights because the Jews have to pay high tax. It's between 20 to 80% of their income or whatever they made. That's why they were protected. Well, quote unquote protected. And the rights are not the same as the right Muslims. Muslims, remember, Muslims pay zakat 2.5%, okay? And every time Jews must yield when they see Muslim walking. They have to go to the, go go out. They have to go away. I mean, they must let the Muslims walk straight, and the Jews must yield. And they have to wear a bell. They were humiliated under Muslims. This is after they pay 20 to 80% of their income. Imagine if they don't pay, they got killed or got kicked out, expelled. That's definitely. And of course, their choice is to convert to Islam. Let's continue. Jewish communities flourished under the Ottoman Empire and in Al Andalus. Wrong. They were not. Because they have to pay so much tax. How? How are they going to get wealthy? How are they going to flourish? Get flourished? No. Let's continue. Let me ask you, how were the Jews treated in Europe by Christians over the centuries? When massacre and persecution were the norm, what did the Crusaders do to the Jews in Jerusalem? The Crusaders, I never cover up. The Catholics did a lot of bad things. They killed 800,000 of the Orthodox Christians. And they killed hundreds or thousands of Jews in Jerusalem. And in Jerusalem at the time, not too many Jews lived there, actually. Not too many Jews lived there. Because the Ottoman made it difficult for them. The Ottoman, not the Ottoman, the Caliph, whoever Caliph in Jerusalem made it difficult. Again, also they have to pay jizya here. Anywhere they live, if it's under Islamic law, under Muslims, they must pay jizya and wear a bell. Now, the Jews persecuted in Europe between 1100 to year 1600. But they were not massacred there. Actually, they were forced in Spain, they were forced to convert to Christianity, well, aka Catholicism. The persecution by Christians on Jews were bad, but not the difference. Like I said, the difference is the persecution by Muslims is led by Prophet Muhammad himself. The persecution on Jews by the Christians were not led by Jesus. Jesus didn't tell them to persecute anyone. Some Christians are bad, some Christians are good. It is, like, unfortunately, some of them are bad. And plus, back then, the understanding was the Bible was not that good because not too many people can read Bible. Only the priest own Bible. Not too many regular people own Bible. So that's why these days Christians have better understanding of the Bible. And that's why so many Christian countries or Christian built countries somehow seem to help the Jews in a way or protect them or just because we maybe they are we understood we understand that we didn't treat them good back then. But after 1600 it was not, it was not that bad. Did the Christians did not like kill them all the time or expelling them from Europe? No, they live in Europe everywhere, from Poland to Germany, everywhere in Europe. Mostly the Christians only making fun of them. So the persecution is not like how the Jews must have a higher tax. No. And when when Hitler rose to power and killed 6 million Jews, in their head, it is the problem. In their head, Hitler was a Christian. Any Muslim who says this, it means he never read anything about history. He doesn't know anything about history. Hitler actually was amazed by the Muhammadans because in his eyes, these Muhammadans like warriors, fighters. So he doesn't like the Christians because the Christians are meek and look weak. He wanted fighters. Hitler has the same mentality as Muslims, if anything. That's that's why he made also a pact with the Mufti of Jerusalem. Anyway, it's getting late and I have to work tomorrow morning. That's all from me for tonight. And thank you for watching and listening. Whether you're a Muslim, a Jew, or a Christian, God bless you all. Have a nice life.